Welcome back. This is the PE1 class. Today we are looking at Unit 3. We will also look into details about writing assignment number 1. First off, thank you everyone for doing the homework. I've been checking a lot of email. It looks like everyone is following the correct format. The correct format is your name, your student number, the class number, that's the ZE10102 or 3 dash and all the other numbers. Some students are putting the classroom number. The classroom number does not help me. The class number helps me. So, once again, homework. In the email, I need your name, both the English and the Korean version. The Hangul letters are perfect. The student number, the class number, and the class day and time. If you leave out one piece of information, I should be able to find all the information online on the listings. So please, name, number, class day and time. Second, please put the homework material in the email. Do not attach a file. Hangul word processor or Microsoft Word and then attach a file are not helpful. It takes too much time to download a file, open the program, check your homework, just to find out that you did it. Please, just type all the information into the email. That would be very helpful. Now, today, hopefully, this will be the last video lesson, unless the government and Pusan National University change their minds and push back classes one more week. We will be meeting next Monday, starting next Monday, in classes. If you remember my schedule, I have Mondays and Thursdays at Yangsan campus. I have Tuesdays and Fridays at Pusan National University main campus in Gumjeong. So starting next Monday, we should meet in our classrooms. I do hope to see you all there. I do hope that you all be nice and safe and healthy. If you are sick, please do not come to class. Contact me on the email. Tell me exactly what's wrong, and I will try to help you with alternate work material. Make sure you have your book, Smart Choice 2, Unit 3, page 16, Unit 3. The title says it all. Do it before you are 30. What does that mean? Well, this sounds like a bucket list. A bucket list, for most of you who know, and some of you who do not know, a bucket list is a list of things to do before you kick the bucket. Kick the bucket is an English phrase. It means to die. I do not know why kick the bucket equals death, but for some reason, in our language, that's what it means. So, bucket list. Things to do before you die. Do you have a bucket list? Is there some activity that you want to do before you die? Well, right now, most everyone in the class is very young 18, 19, 20 years old maybe. You are very young. You have at least 60 more years of life left in you. So you have a long time to live before you really start considering a bucket list. However, what do you want to do? What favorite activity do you have that you have never done? That's a very strange way of saying it. Is there an activity that you want to do? Let's take a quick look at Unit 3. In this unit, we will look at some activity vocabulary. We will go over some very interesting and not so difficult grammar. There is a reading section and there will be homework. Now, in the case of the homework, if we are meeting in class next week, then please bring the homework to the class. Do not send an email. In case the government and the school delays our start time one more week or 2 more weeks, at that time, please send in an email. So, if we meet next Monday, do not send an email. Bring the homework to class. If we do not meet next Monday, put it in an email. And I hope we all get to see each other soon. Then I will tell you about the writing assignment. Same deal. The writing assignment, you should bring it to class. We have a lot of work to do in class next week. Page 16. As you can see on page 16, there are 8 pictures, 8 wonderful activities. And we also have some new vocabulary words. Please repeat after me. Bungee jumping, race car driving, zip lining, parasailing, windsurfing, riding a motorcycle, hang gliding, skydiving. Let's do that one more time. One more time. Bungee jumping, race car driving, zip lining. Zip, you have to really put the tongue behind the teeth and you let it vibrate. Zzz. You need to say an ah sound. Pronounce an ah sound or an eh sound in your throat and let the air blow and vibrate your tongue behind your teeth. No vocal sound would get you at s. But if you do a vocal sound, the and the s sound, you'll get a z, z. The vocal helps vibrate the tongue. The blowing air helps give you a special breath sound. So, z, you need a vocal and an S sound. Keep the tongue behind the teeth. Zip, zip, zip lining. Next word, parasailing, windsurfing, riding a motorcycle, hang gliding, skydiving. Which activity would you like to do? Would you like to go bungee jumping? Where is a good place to go bungee jumping? I suggest Australia or New Zealand. New Zealand is the home of bungee jumping. It's a beautiful country. It has gorgeous weather, excellent food, very nice people, and very scary activities. Bungee jumping. Definitely try it if you can. Go to New Zealand. Hang gliding. Picture number 2. Not many people go hang gliding anymore. It's a lot of equipment. Most people go paragliding. They use a parachute instead of a hang glider. Now, number 3 is parasailing. It's similar to paragliding, but you are connected to a boat. The boat pulls you in the water. Number 4, race car driving. How many of you have driven a car? Very few. How many of you want to drive a car? All right. How many want to drive a race car? It goes fast, it's very powerful, and it can be very scary. Number 5, zip lining. That's when you have a long cable and you just ride down the zip line and go zzz. Zzz is the sound the little pulley makes as it goes down the rope. It's a lot of fun. Number 6, skydiving. Skydiving can be fun. Make sure you go to a very good school with a very good record. Number 7, motorcycle. Here in Korea, motorcycles are very dangerous. However, it's mostly the person riding the motorcycle that is dangerous. If you are very careful, a motorcycle is just as safe as any other car. But you do have to be careful. You cannot drive like a pizza delivery guy. Number 8, windsurfing. Some people try to go windsurfing. However, it is a very, very difficult thing to do. Go with surfing first. Try to go surfing. Go to Gwangan, go to Haeundae, go to Songjeong. Take a surfing class. Surfing is fun. Windsurfing is a little more difficult. Now, what about you? Do you have any other special activity on your bucket list? Do you want to visit a special place? Do you want to go to Disney World or Disneyland? Do you want to visit a special city in Europe? Who knows? What is on your bucket list? Next, page 18. Page 18, the grammar. There's a lot of information here, so get ready, take notes, and don't worry. I will try to explain things again next week in class. If I am too confusing, if you do not understand, please write your question down and ask the question next week in class. So, Unit 3, Grammar. What are we looking at? We are looking at the present perfect sentence. You may remember the first week's video had some grammar information. At the end of that video, I talked about the 3 basic types of sentences: the simple sentence, the continuous sentence, and the perfect sentence. In this small section, we will look at the following questions. What is it? What is a perfect sentence? What information does the perfect sentence tell you? And how does it work? So first, what is a perfect sentence? Well, there are four parts to a perfect sentence. You have the subject, the verb to have, past participle, and object. S, V to have, PPO. Very simple letters. As an example, I have taught English. She has studied English. Now, what does this sentence tell you? Well, the common response in many English classes, what does a perfect sentence tell you? Many teachers will say, it shows experience. That's the very simple definition. That's a very simple description of what the sentence does. Think of a checkbox. Have you ever gone to donate blood? You have a lot of questions and check boxes. Check yes, check no. Well, think of all the experiences you have had in the past. Think of the bucket list experiences you have not had. If you have performed a certain job or done a certain piece of work or traveled to a certain place, then check yes. I have worked, I have done, I have traveled. If you have not done something, then that's the no box. I have not. I do not have that experience. So if yes, you have. If no, you have not. It's a checkbox. Very simple. So, what is the problem with the perfect sentence? Well, that comes to how does the sentence work and why should we use it? Well, to answer these questions, we need to take a closer look at the other basic sentences first. You may remember the simple sentence. A simple sentence. Subject, verb, object. There are 3 times to use a simple sentence. The most common is the description sentence. Most of the time, a description sentence uses the verb to be. That would be am, is, are. I am here. A pencil is yellow, for a yellow pencil. The book is on the table. The shoes are black. Reason number 2 to use a simple sentence is quick action. Now, it's important to note, quick action is something like, he kicks the ball, she opens the door. It's very quick. Most of the time, we do not use quick action in present tense form because the action is just quick. It's done. It's finished. Usually, we use quick action in past tense. He walked to school. She opened the door. He kicked the ball. That would be the normal way to use a quick action sentence in English. Now, there are times when we do use the quick action present tense form. That's usually as a sports announcer. For example, baseball. Turn on the television, you're watching the baseball game, the TV announcer starts going, Ide-ho gets up, he walks out to the plate, he gets ready, the pitcher throws the ball, Ide-ho swings. Ide-ho hits the ball goes out of the park. That's about the only time you will hear a present tense, quick action, simple sentence. It's when the action is happening right now. Most of the time, it will be a past tense sentence. And that brings us to reason number 3. Time number 3 to use a simple sentence. That is a regular scheduled action. This is an action you do many, many times. For example, brush your teeth. I brush my teeth every day. I go to school every day when we are not on coronavirus lockdown. I watch TV in the evenings. I practice guitar, right? So these are regular scheduled items. Classes. You go to class on Monday. You go to class on Tuesday. We use a present tense, what looks like an action, and it's for regular schedule. So, simple sentence, 3 times. Description, quick action, regular schedule. Continuous sentence. When do we use a continuous sentence? What is a continuous sentence? A continuous sentence has subject, verb with ing. A continuous sentence has the subject, the verb to be, verb with ing, which is also called a gerund, and an object. The 2 times to use a continuous sentence are for a long action and a future plan. A long action is the action started in the past, it is continuing right now, and it will finish in the future. You started watching this video in the past. You are watching this video right now, and hopefully in the future you will stop watching this video. That is a long action. For example, I am sitting. I started sitting in the past, I'm sitting now, and soon I will stand up and move somewhere else. Time number 2 is the future plan. Now, the future plan sometimes has going in the sentence. But future plan almost always has a time tag. A time tag has something to do with a future time period. For example, what are you doing tonight? Tonight is the time tag. Tonight, I am going to practice guitar. Going and tonight. Those help you understand it's not a present action, but a future plan. Now, one thing to notice, there are 2 verbs here. Now, many teachers will say the verb with ing is something called a gerund. A gerund is a verb with ing, for example, running, studying, listening, watching, cooking, eating. These words are actually nouns. They are names of actions. So they're called gerunds. A participle, that's a little different. A participle is a verb with ed or ing that is used as an adjective. That will come up in a different lesson. Past participle. Past participle is a little bit different. Now, that brings us to the perfect sentence. The perfect sentence has the subject, the verb to have, the past participle and an object. The past participle is a very old style of pronouncing and saying a verb in past tense. When do we use the perfect sentence? One time. We use the perfect sentence to sound smarter. I know we covered the information that the perfect sentence is used to show experience. However, we really use the perfect sentence to sound smarter in English. A present perfect sentence is the same as a past simple sentence. The difference is perfect uses two words as verbs, whereas the past simple uses one past tense verb. You sound smarter when you use a perfect sentence to show experience instead of a simple sentence. How does this work? There is a style of speaking in the Korean language. When you speak to a friend, that's one style of speaking. However, when you speak to your grandfather, you use a different style of speaking. This is not exactly the same as the perfect. However, they are a little similar in how they are used. You would not speak to your grandfather the way you speak to your friend, correct? When you talk to your grandfather in Korean, you use a specific style of speaking. This style of speaking is polite and it makes you sound smarter. If you talked to your grandfather the same way you talk to your friend, there would be no respect and you would not sound as smart. Correct? So, using simple sentences is like talking to your friend. Using the perfect is like talking to your grandfather. It's polite and you sound smarter. That's what we're going for. We want you to sound smarter. Another reason to use the perfect sentence. It uses more words to give you the same information. For example, using a perfect sentence. I have been to Thailand. I have been to Thailand. That's 5 words. Simple sentence. I went to Thailand. Well, that's just 4. Using the perfect, you get an extra word, or 2 extra words, or 3 extra words, depending on what else you say. This is very helpful on TOEIC writing tests. On a TOEIC writing test, there is a 150-word section and a 250-word section. How many 5-word simple sentences do you want to write to equal 150 words? Well, what if you said the exact same thing using a perfect sentence? Instead of 5 words, you are using 8 words, and it gives the same information. Perfect sentence makes you sound smarter. Incredible little cat. You know what? I'm going to leave you in. I'm not going to edit you out. Next, one verb versus two verb. Simple sentence has one verb. The continuous and the perfect have a two verb system. Ow! She's trying to jump onto the TV console. I don't know why you're trying to jump on the TV console. Anyway, why is the two verb system important? Most of your life, you have gone to English classes and the professors and teachers told you there is one verb in each sentence. But that's not exactly true. Many, many years ago, I'm talking King Arthur many years ago. Yes, I'm talking King Arthur. We're talking not exactly 2,000 years ago. Blue, why did you do that? She just attacked my computer mouse. Why did you attack my computer mouse? Anyway. About 1,500 years ago was the beginning of the English language. The beginning of the English language was 5 different languages in Europe coming together. German, Norman, or French at the time, Celtic, Latin, and Greek. Those 5 languages helped form the basis of English. In those languages, when the people talked to the educated kings and the educated rich people, they used a two-verb system. The uneducated people used a simple one-verb system. Very similar to the Korean style of talking to your friend, talking to your grandfather. Again, not exactly the same, but there's a similar meaning. There's a similar use. For the perfect sentence, the verb to have tells you the time period to start looking for the experience. The past participle tells you the experience to look for. So imagine a timeline. Present perfect means you start now and you look to the past. I have traveled to Thailand. You look in the past, yep, traveled to Thailand, check the box. Blue. I'm leaving all of this in. All right, if you fall, I'm going to laugh at you, and all of my students are going to laugh at you too. Oh, is she going to make it? So, the two verb. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Stop messing up my video. Still love you. You annoying cat. Where was I? Yes. The perfect system has two verbs. If you are looking at a past perfect, that would be the had. I had traveled. You pick a time in the past, look past beyond that for the experience. Have means you look now and past from there. Future perfect, you pick a point in the future and look past from that, which still means future. For example, pretty soon the semester will end. You will take a midterm test and you will take a final exam at the end of June. What does this mean? By July, you will have finished. So by July, not June when you take the test, but July, looking back, you will have finished your tests. You will have finished this class. I will explain all of this again in class next week. So let's move on before this video gets too long. Grammar tip number 1. Past participles. Just like verbs, there are 2 types, regular and irregular, normal and not normal. The good news is 90% of English verbs are regular verbs. That means when you turn them into a past participle, all you do is add ed. For example, jumped, played, visited, or tried. All you do is add ed. Those are normal, regular verbs. 90% of English verbs, all you do is add ed. Bad news. The bad news is 85% of the most used verbs are irregular. Been, bought, done, driven, eaten, flown, gone, met, ridden, run, seen. These are the most used verbs. How is this helpful? In the future, when you study more verb vocabulary, more than likely, they will be regular verbs. By now, you should have studied pretty much all of the common irregular verbs. All new verbs, or most new verbs, should be regular. You just add ed. Grammar tip number 2. This is more for speaking. Mix a perfect sentence with a simple sentence. This adds information and it brings more storytelling to the sentence. It's like telling a story. You are adding more information. For example, have you ever traveled to Thailand? Yes, I have traveled to Thailand. I lived in Thailand for 1 year in 2010. This is a way of giving more information, and it is storytelling. And storytelling always increases your TOEIC writing score. Now, on page 18, we have section 1 and section 2. Please keep an eye on these 2 sections. Let's go to the reading section. The reading section on page 20. The reading section on page 20, the title is, Have You Ever Seen Anything Like This? Well, there's a picture of a man falling. He has a parachute. He is in a city. He is not skydiving. He is doing something called base jumping. He is jumping off a building. It is very dangerous. So, for the blue vocabulary words, please repeat after me if you can. Parachuted, inspired, leaping, made appearances, opening sequence, stuntman. Made appearance means shows up. Made an appearance. In some movies, for example, many Marvel movies, there is an old man character that shows up in every Marvel movie. That man is Stan Lee. He created the Marvel Universe in comic books. So he gets to appear in every Marvel movie. Opening sequence. Many movies have an opening sequence. A sequence is a section of the film. You have the opening section, the title section, first act section, end credit section, title section. There are lots of sections and sequences in a movie. Homework. Please remember, bring this homework to class if we meet in class. If the school cancels class, then please put it in an email and send it to me. First, describe the activities on page 16. Have you ever done the activities? Which activities do you want to do in the future? For example, skydiving. Most of you probably have never been skydiving, so please use the perfect sentence. I have never been skydiving. I have never gone skydiving. If you want to do it, then you write, I want to go skydiving in the future. Next, describe the blue vocabulary words from the reading section. That should be it for Unit 3. So now we need to look at writing assignment number 1. Writing assignment number 1 is the short assignment. The requirements. It needs to be A4 paper. Do not bring notebook paper. Do not use toilet paper, newspaper, scratch paper, paper you picked up from the floor. Please, nice and clean A4 paper. It needs to have minimum 6 sentences, maximum 8 sentences. This is a short writing assignment. It needs to be in paragraph form. Paragraph form means the first sentence is indented. If you don't know what that means, look at the paragraphs in the reading section. On page 20, the reading section. The first sentence of each paragraph is moved in a few spaces. Use the tab key, T-A-B key, in the top left of your keyboard. That will give you the perfect space. Next, you need to use Times New Roman font style. If you don't know Times New Roman font style, look at this card. These letters are Times New Roman font style. I believe Hangul word processor, the Hangul word program, does not have a font called Times New Roman. It has something called Courier. Courier, I believe. I may be mistaken. But try to find a font similar to Times New Roman. Please make it font size 12. I have trouble reading size 10, so please make it font size 12 so I can read it. It needs to be typed. No handwriting, please. This assignment will be open. You can do any topic except dokdo and boyfriend-girlfriend problems. I have been teaching in Korea for almost 20 years. I cannot take any more reports about dokdo. I know everything about dokdo. I know so much about dokdo. I could give many lessons about dokdo. I can teach you many things about dokdo that you do not know. Please, no reports about dokdo. I will go on record. Dokdo belongs to Korea. It's very simple. So please, no reports about dokdo. The other, no reports about boyfriend-girlfriend romance problems. I am married. I have a cat. My problems are much worse than your problems are. I don't want to hear about them. So please, no reports on dokdo, no reports on boyfriend-girlfriend stuff. Keep it clean, and you can choose pretty much any topic you want. The paragraph. You will need an introduction sentence. You will need a main idea or a topic idea. You will need 3 different support ideas. And then you finish with a conclusion. Here are 6 sentences. That's the minimum you need for this paragraph. Here are some suggestions. Some people can write about their favorite thing. Computer, clothing, earbuds, shoes, whatever. A favorite place, a favorite character, favorite song, a favorite movie, a favorite color. A favorite color is probably the easiest. What is your favorite color? Give me 3 reasons why it is your favorite color. When you write titles, when you write a title in English, if it's a book title, you need to underline the whole title. Every word begins with a capital letter, and it's underlined. Movie titles, TV shows, album, these are capitalized. First letter is capital. Some words like in, on, by, or the, if they are in the middle of the title, you don't need to capitalize. But all the big words need a capital letter. Now, movie title, TV show, album title, the titles are what are called italic. They are slanted. Song titles, Capital letters, quotation marks. You put the quotation mark around the song. You may have noticed on the topic suggestion, the song Arirang has quotation. Gangnam Style has quotation. Pick Me Up has quotation. Movie, Avengers Endgame, Love Actually, Parasite. Those are italics. Please do not put greater than, less than symbols around the title. Please do not put special brackets around the title. I do not know why Korean students do this. This is incorrect. You will lose many points if you do this on a TOEIC writing test. Do not use greater than, less than, or brackets. These are for mathematics, not English. Writing assignment title. The title of the writing assignment should be in the center of the page. Give the title some space from the top of the paper. I suggest hitting the Enter key 3 times to move the title down from the top of the page. Every word should start with a capital letter. Short words like an, short words like and, the, or, and by can start with small letters when they are not the beginning of the title. For example, you notice some space. Writing assignment number 1 is not at the very top of the paper. I moved it down a few lines. Enter, enter, enter a few more times. Move your name and number, student name and student number, to the right of the paper. So, center, justify, right, justify, and then for the paragraph, enter, 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 left, justify. So, from the top, enter, 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 title, enter, 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 right, name and number, enter, 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 left, paragraph. This big space is called an indent. The first line of each paragraph should have an indent. Example paragraph. My title, my favorite restaurant in Busan. Professor Fred Solon, my number is on the right. You do not have to put student name and then your name. You do not have to put student number and then your number. Just put your name and your number. Now, in English culture, in Western culture, the introduction sentence is called a general focus sentence. Here it says, many people in Busan like to go out to eat. This is a general focus sentence. You are now thinking of Busan and places to eat. I have focused your idea and focused your thinking to those 2 topics. In most Korean styles of writing, the introduction sentence is simply, please let me introduce my topic. Please do not do that. We are looking at an English style of writing, So try an English style introduction. If it's a favorite thing, many people have a favorite thing. If it's a favorite hometown, many people come from nice hometowns. Then you go to your main idea. For my paper, my favorite restaurant in Busan is my wife's restaurant. Yes, my wife has a restaurant. I will not give the name. I will not give the location. I am not advertising my wife's location or restaurant. I am simply saying it is my favorite place to go. Now, I need 3 reasons why this is my favorite restaurant. Let's take a look. Her restaurant has the best food. Would you go to a restaurant many times if it had terrible food? Her restaurant has the best service. When she brings food to me, she smiles and sometimes gives me a kiss on the cheek. She's a wonderful person. I really love the service. 3rd reason, my wife owns the restaurant. I do not pay for the meals. I do a lot of work at the restaurant. I help out at the restaurant, but I do not pay for the meals. Would that make a place your favorite restaurant? Then you need a conclusion. For these reasons, my wife's restaurant is my favorite place to eat out in Busan. This is called a 1-paragraph essay. An essay in English style writing is an idea and 3 reasons. What you will see with many English essays is many things get repeated many times. The main idea gets repeated often in an essay. The 3 ideas get repeated many times in an essay. And then the conclusion repeats the ideas and the main reason. Main idea, 3 reasons, conclusion, which is the main idea again. This is the writing assignment number 1. Please bring a nice clean copy on paper to class next week. If the government closes the school 1 more week, then add the unit homework, unit 3 homework, and the writing assignment into an email. We will look at the writing assignments soon in class. I have a special project in class with the writing assignments. Writing assignment 2 depends on writing assignment 1. It's very simple. I am Fred Solon. This has been your PE class instruction. This has been your writing assignment 1 instruction as well. I do hope to see you all in class, healthy and safe next week, unless something bad happens. And who knows, maybe my cat will make an appearance in the future. I hope to see you all next week. Goodbye for now. Stay safe and stay healthy.